If recent events have taught us anything, it's that our world changes quickly. We at CAMCO Property Management have led our community associations through some of the most difficult issues by providing unparalleled access to information, keeping buildings and their occupants safe.
Property management is a very important role. The managers are required to wear many hats, from helping assist and guiding the board of directors to dealing with residents on a daily basis, managing contractors. We manage the association funds, issue payments to vendors. It's a very detailed job that is 24/7, 365 days a year.
Property management is inherently a fast-paced, ever-changing occupation. The COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated existing demands by forcing property management firms like CAMCO to quickly pivot and find a new way of communicating and keeping residents safe.
As information was developing on COVID, it was imperative that we stayed current on all new regulations and guidelines. We also had to redefine access to our community's common areas and recreational facilities to ensure safety and also minimize liability risk. We began to host webinars for our staff and board members featuring attorneys and insurance brokers to help guide us on the situation. So the webinar format was a great success because it allowed for our board members to be in one location at the same time. We continued to utilize the webinar format and host monthly board roundtables and educational training for our board members.
What we have realized during this pandemic time is that boards need to understand a reserve study. A reserve study is a 30-year snapshot of all the common elements that the association is responsible to replace. Therefore, we have put together a plan with a third party, a financial tool that is going to help our boards be able to look at their planning over the 30 years, manipulate so they can do different projects in different years and still understand the funding that they need to put in place on a monthly and annual basis to have the proper funds to complete these projects. The software allows us to show the board the special assessments that can be issued if they take a loan, and also store their projects to be able to refer back to and share with lenders or authorities when needed. This will allow us, with a reserve study, to have a project done 2 years in advance versus in a specific year, and then be able to show the board that since we've manipulated and done a project, what then will be the needs going forward for the other capital items that are going to be required to repair or replace in the future.
The Champlain Towers building collapse in Surfside, Florida, is another example of how technology was leveraged to educate and promote awareness within the property management profession.
Within a week of the event, we hosted multiple webinars featuring engineers, attorneys, insurance brokers. The purpose was to provide clarity on our fiduciary responsibilities and to ensure that these buildings were getting inspected. This webinar was one of our largest participation of board members.
Our staff now has the ability, with conferencing technology, to be able to work from an office or their home and still be able to provide top-level service. Our technology provides the ability for our board members to be able to communicate and work with us in the comfort of their own home, along with our software, providing them the access to see everything in real time with 100% transparency. With the ability to have this increased technology, we're able to have more community meetings with more participation. The boards are becoming more effective in getting topics and issues resolved as quickly as possible for the clients and the association, along with the efficiencies it creates for our staff to be able to complete tasks in a timely manner.
Celebrating 47 years of success, CAMCO Property Management continues to set an example of excellence within the industry. As one of the oldest management firms in the country, CAMCO remains focused on shared leadership, education, and the wellness of its buildings.
What we realized as the pandemic was unfolding, that we didn't look at buildings the way we should be at properties. We wanted to start looking at the wellness of buildings. So part of our initiative that will take part this year is that we are going to get our buildings well certified by DALOS. We are going to have our buildings and properties with clubhouses take a look at their air quality, their water quality, the surroundings of the area itself, and really help put forth the betterment and wellness of the building itself. CAMCO's mission is to enhance community life. We live and breathe by our core values of the company to make sure we're providing the top customer service in the property management industry.
To learn more about CAMCO services and receive a quote, visit camcomgmt.com.